What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's January 6th, 4:20 p.m. That's a good sign. That is a good sign. I'm gonna be honest, I was really nervous, very resistant to doing another one of these, but I told myself that I was gonna do this for at least the end of January. So I'm gonna do it for at least the end of January. Because I told myself I would. And if I don't like it, I don't have to do it anymore. But until then, I'm gonna do it. Because that's my commitment to myself. Today, I want to talk about greatness. Greatness. What does that mean, greatness? I watched Marty Supreme last week, and everybody told me that it was a movie where you would be stressed the entire time, seemingly for no reason. I think that's a very accurate that's a very accurate summation of the feeling of watching Marty Supreme. But there's something about watching a man really pursue greatness in his own way that is so exhilarating. It just draws you in. You're on this roller coaster ride, like, oh my god, what's gonna happen next? And oh, he's still gonna do the thing, and how he's gonna do it now? The thing he wanted, it got taken away from him, but he's gonna find another way. It is so entertaining. It is so entertaining to watch, and also secondhand be involved in. Because I think each of us knows what that feeling is like. At some point in our lives, we have strived for greatness in our own way. I have strived for greatness in my own way, in many ways. But I also think that the movie was a mirror to me and made me question, what does greatness mean to me now? And how has my definition and relationship to greatness evolved over the many years of my life? So that's what we're going to talk about today. The first thing I'll say about the movie and Marty Supreme as a character is that the entire time I was watching it, I could not stop thinking about my immigrant dad. And for good reason. Good reason, actually. Because Marty Supreme, that desperate energy, that scrappy, desperate, willing to literally do anything to get what he needs to survive, not even to like build an empire. He's not like he's not trying to like make like the world change. He just wants to make something in his world be accomplished. And it was really, I think, a movie about survival and what it takes to survive. That is, as far as I know, that is the epitome of the immigrant mindset. This fight or flight mode. I was stressed out. I was like, oh my god. There's one point where Timothée Chalamet's character is fighting with Odessa's character. I'm like, I don't know their names. Marty Supreme, I don't remember Odessa's character's name. But basically they're fighting. And the amount of yelling that they had, I was like, oh, I'm being taken back to my childhood bedroom. Like, this is, I mean, low-key, it is like unprocessed intergenerational trauma that is only able to be put into anger. But it's also like that fire that comes from just needing something so much that that's the only way that it's gonna come out. So yeah, that reminded me a lot of my immigrant dad. I was like, oh, okay, I know this flavor. I know this flavor of a human being. I have not seen this person in a long time because most of the people around me now as a young adult are pretty emotionally regulated and not at that level of desperation. But it was interesting to see it just so condensed into a story like that for me to observe from a third person perspective. I would consider myself a very ambitious person. Throughout all of my life, I've been ambitious, and I think it's because I get it from my dad. And being a child of an immigrant, you kind of get that ambition, injected into you from the day you're born. And if not that, you witness it. You witness it just subliminally as you grow up and you watch your parents and how they struggle to even just interact with somebody in a second language and find a way to fit in, try to find a way to like support their kids. Like, even if they don't tell you about what it means to be ambitious, ambition is not a option. You have to be in order to survive in this world, at least in America. However, there came a point in my life where the ambition, the hunger for more than what I have just felt so debilitating, just so unsustainable. Like it was too much. And I got really burnt out really fast. And I think there are two pinnacle moments when this happened. One was when I was in college. And for those of you who don't already personally know me, I went to college for computer science at UC Berkeley, which was definitely not at all my first pick for what I want to do with my life. At all, at all, at all, at all. I grew up, being very good at school, but at the same time, I was a total artist. I was a closeted artist as a kid. And my immigrant parents did not know what that meant. Art was a hobby, okay? I think a lot of children of immigrant parents would understand this feeling. And even not that, like, being an artist is scary because it's just, you're being vulnerable and just doing your thing and nobody really understands it, whatever. That's something for another time. The first time I was super, super burnt out was when I was in college and I was like, oh my God, I am pursuing this thing that I hate. I hate it. Why am I doing this? I'm doing it because it is the thing to do. It is the right thing to do, but that's not what I want to do. That's not what this grand life of mine that I'm supposed to live for the next several decades. I'm supposed to do this. I don't want to. Why would I do that? Why do other people get to do what they want and I can't? That was one. All right, I was ambitious to the point of burning out. I was ambitious for something that I didn't even want. I was hungry to fulfill the dreams of my parents because I inherited the fear that they had of not being able to survive. Okay, so that was inflection point 1. Inflection point 2, I made a little career shift at the ripe age of 19, 20. I graduated school very early. I'm talking about ambition. Okay, I was a very high-achieving high schooler who took a lot of AP classes, so I didn't really need a lot of credits. Like, by the time I was a junior, I was like, okay, I could finish school online in 2020, COVID times, whatever. I moved to LA. I decided I wanted to do acting, and now my ambition had something else to feed. I was like, ooh, like, this thing I don't like to feed my ambition to this. Let me just shift it over to something artistic, because maybe art will save me. Well, ambition is a hunger that feels like it can never be fed. At least back then. And when I shifted my ambition to pursue acting, or just to be in the art world in general, acting, comedy, writing, performing, improv, all that, I found that I was a lot happier. But something about the need to be great always makes you unsatisfied. Always leaves you wondering, where's the point where I'm like, I'm good. Wow, I'm doing great. Ambition doesn't leave room for that. And I think Marty Supreme knows a lot about that. It's not enough. Nothing is enough. What about now? So I just came back from 3 months in Paris, and I did not realize how freaking tired I am of feeding my ambition. I am so tired. I'm so tired of feeding my ambition because that level of ambition is not sustainable. That's what you do when you're young and scrappy and you need to survive. I live in a first world country. Why am I still feeling like I need to survive? I think the biggest lesson that I learned while I was in France was how much more I aligned with that way of life. Enjoying each and every day, caring to spend quality time at dinner, at drinks, eating really, really good food, drinking really good wine. Simple things. And the quality of life in Europe, I don't want to generalize, I haven't been everywhere in Europe, but in France, in Paris, is so much higher without you needing to be great. And it clicked for me that the need to be great is such an American ideal. Okay, don't get me wrong. Everybody wants to feel great. Everybody wants to pursue greatness in their own way. But this flavor of greatness, like survival greatness, immigrant to America greatness. This is American greatness. Marty Supreme is an American character. It is such an American ideal to want to be the best. Because I think, and maybe this might rub people the wrong way, or might be a little bit controversial, I think the need to be great only comes out of some kind of subconscious understanding that to be anything less than puts you at risk for living a bad life. That might have been a little complicated. Let me try to reword that. Being born and raised in America, you are taught to work your booty off to be the greatest, because the alternative, if you don't, is poverty and a bad life. Our system does not take care of everybody. It only benefits those who are willing to sacrifice it all to be great. Other systems take care of you in a way where you don't have to worry about the price of going to the doctor or whether or not you're going to eat that day, no matter what it is that you decide to do. You do not need to be the richest person in the world in order to live a good life. In fact, so many people in France that I met lived very, very, very good lives off of normal jobs. And I think it's been a while in America since we've been able to do that. So, greatness, 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 greatness. My definition of greatness has evolved a lot, matured, softened, because I think I realize I don't actually want to be the greatest in the world. I just think I inherited that trait from my parents, from being raised in America, because I thought that was the only way that I'd be able to live a good life. Subconsciously. I didn't actually consciously, I was like, oh, this is why I want to be great, blah, blah. It's like, no. This is what is valued here, and this is what's going to ensure that you are impenetrable to any kind of bad thing that can happen in the world. It's not. Being rich, being successful, great. That's great. But it doesn't protect you from everything. Maybe it gives you the kind of cushion in America that the ordinary person has elsewhere. What is the value of the thing you're pursuing if it's forcing you to destroy everything else in your life? The job that makes you sacrifice time with your family and friends, that makes you say no to other opportunities, that makes you feel drained. I just think that I have been questioning the sacrifices that I've made in the pursuit of something that I don't even think I wanted in the first place. There's a quote that I wrote a long time ago, like 2021, when I was in the throes of building a acting career in LA. And it's, who am I without my ambition? Who am I without my ambition? I was so identified with being an ambitious, go-getter, can-do gal. I'm only 25. I'm about to be 26, but I'm only 25. And I am tired. I'm tired of chasing. I'm tired of wanting to be great. Because that is almost an admittance that I'm not already sufficient as I am, that I need to be more, that I do not have enough. Let me tell you, when you walk out in the streets of Paris, I'm like, oh my God, I went to Paris and my life changed. It's true, yes. When I walk out in the streets of Paris and I look up and around at beautiful architecture and history everywhere around me, I walk down the street, get a little €1, €2 treat from the boulangerie. I see some friends at the climbing gym. I don't need much to be happy. I don't think any of us need much to be happy. If we really stepped away from like the everyday parts of our lives where we think just like our problems are so big and, oh no, what if I don't achieve this thing, or what if I don't get the promotion? It's like, what is important in life? It's community and it's health. It's mental well-being. It's having access to healthcare and quality foods. You get it. Hopefully. Or maybe you don't. I don't know. I barely get it. But yeah, that's my relationship to greatness now. I think my ambitions are cooling down. I'm ambitious for other things now. I'm ambitious to live a peaceful, collected, calm, cool life. I'm ambitious for a sense of an adventure that fills my spirit with love and laughter. That doesn't require me to be head honcho, to be number one in the world. Because the reality is, we don't see Marty Supreme at the end of the movie. We don't know what happens after the end of the movie. We don't know what happens after he literally does all that stuff. Has a baby. And a lot of people who are looking to kill him because what he has, the ruckus that he has made in that movie. He stirred some chaos. Okay, I'm not going to spoil anything, but, oh wait, I did. I said he had a baby, but whatever, it's fine. You figure that out in the first, 5 minutes of the movie. That's the first scene, is okay, there's a sperm and the egg and ping pong ball. Sperm, egg, ping pong ball. He has a baby at the very end. He doesn't have it. Odessa has it for him. Okay. You don't see the end, okay? You don't see what happens after, okay? The aftermath of this. But I do think that the film does a wonderful portrait of everything before. All right. I think I got my point across. I feel pretty satisfied with this. Yeah. I'm going to admit that I actually did another thing where I recorded for 25 minutes about a completely different topic and I hated it. This one I don't hate as much. So I'm still going to post it. Ah. Man, this is hard. This is hard, but it's okay. I'm going to be fine. It's okay. It's all right. I'm glad that I did this. Yeah, I guess I'll see you next time. See you next time. I have a lot of thoughts up here, and they don't know how to come out still. They still don't know how to come out. I need to find a better way to organize my thoughts, because hopefully some of that made sense. All right. Bye. See you next time.